And what was the purpose, I guess, of writing this book then?
Being authentic, which is the most important thing to me in life, and self-aware, and developing as a human, and getting as close to achieving self-actualization, means you have to be honest with everything, even if it's possible at the risk of maybe your family never talking to you again, or at the risk of your friends looking at you funny, or at the risk of how my children would look, well, of just any loved one might look at you, was actually the most empowering thing. When I actually was ready to be okay with all of that, made me feel the most real I've ever felt in my entire life.
Almost freed you.
It's freedom. It was a very, very empowering.
Why? What is proper mirroring to you?
Mirroring is if I were to hold a mirror in front of you, that you actually see yourself, and you don't see what I want you to see. So if I don't properly mirror, then you will see what it is that your parents want you to be, as opposed to you to be how you want to be.
And do you think that's something that you didn't have as a child?
Yes.
And how did that affect you?
You can't find your true identity, and on top of it, you're always searching. Instead of the things that feel good for you and the things that give you internal deeper strength, you're always finding strength from external areas. The way your parents might look at you, the words that they use, the facial gestures, all of those things impact, and they will wrongfully take you in a path that's not one of your own.
Is that something you're very aware of now with your children?
Very.
Okay. And how did you learn about this mirroring and
14 years of psychoanalysis. I mean, really, I don't think I would have done it without it. And that's the other message of the book, is just that I deeply, deeply believe in the power of really going to the core of things. If you're an alcoholic, if you're a drug addict, if you're a workaholic, whatever, and you're obsessed in some neurotic way, is not focusing on the behavior and focusing on the why. And as you delve into the why and peel that onion deeper and deeper and deeper, you go down to some of the bare sources of it. And a lot of them aren't pretty. They're not pretty in psychoanalysis. It doesn't feel good. It's not a happy kind of therapy. But it's one that you got to do and get through with it. And I'm a huge advocate of it. And I'm certain, to your point with the children, I'm certain that I'm a better dad is because, for starters, I am very comfortable with them reading a story about a dad that for a long time was a terrible dad. I was a terrible husband. I was a terrible person in narcissistically terrible in so many ways. But I want them to know how imperfect that was, because that frees them from them not having to be perfect. I don't want them to go be perfect. And I'm hoping that this frees them from ever feeling pressure that they have to act, and achieve a certain way.